Now, 20 years ago, our first guest became Coach Taylor on Friday Night Lights. Now he plays intergalactic superhero Hal Jordan in the new series Lanterns. It premieres Sunday on HBO. Please welcome Kyle Chandler. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Hello.
Kyle, we're just gonna jump right to it, man.
Let's go.
Austin, Texas.
That's right, yeah.
They say home to some of the best barbecue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Favorite places you go there?
I've been to a lot of them, and everyone has their own different thing going on, like Snow's or like the Salt Lick's not too far from my home, or I mean, there's just so many. But there's one place where I find I get the best barbecue every time.
And where's that?
That's my house.
Oh! Why?
I've seen your book. I looked through your book, and I questioned your beautiful mother about that book. Where are they?
Right there?
Yes. We had a small conversation. I was very curious about that book.
Oh, what were you curious about the book?
They look at the recipes and the barbecue sauce and what you got in there.
Wait,
I like that you got the drinks in there too.
I got the drinks
That's a
in there
good
as well.
book. I'll use that book.
But I have to say this now. Those aren't only our recipes. You know, Cedric the Entertainer and I, we traveled the country and we collected recipes from people like yourself and just people all over the world, and we put them in the book.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
because it's about the culture of barbecue. And I'm glad you enjoy it. You know, Franklin's is one of my favorite places when I come to Austin.
There are so many of them.
Yeah, there are.
And when did you start cooking? When you were a young man?
Yeah, when my mama got addicted to bingo.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you a story. I was around 11 years old or so, and I'm 55 now. So my mother came home and she was like, "Your daddy gonna be hungry when he get home from work," and she just drove off. And fortunately for me, I grew up watching The Galloping Gourmet and Julia Childs, on PBS, and Julia Childs had just roasted a chicken that afternoon that I watched on television. Lo and behold, we had a chicken in the refrigerator. So I made the chicken, a box of mashed potatoes, a can of sweet cream corn, and some biscuits. And I made that food, and my daddy said, your mama put her foot in this. I said, no, mama didn't cook that. He said, who did? I said, I did. He said, what are we eating tomorrow? and that's how it started.
That's a great story.
That's how it started.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When did your love of barbecue happen? Now, do you smoke meats? Do you do all that stuff?
Well, we moved out into Texas about 18 years ago, and I wasn't a smoker. I've always been a charcoal griller. I always had my Weber grill and everything like that, but not smoking, and that's a whole different deal out there. So I've got a Weber smoker as well, and I started smoking the meats and all that, and there's so much to do. I love doing the ribs. I love doing the chicken, the briskets. I mean, you name it. I was smoking a lot. Matter of fact, I went to my doctor, and he did my whatever he was doing, a blood test or whatever at the time. And he says, "You got a problem. Your cholesterol's out of the roof." And he goes, "What are you doing?" And I realized it was because I was smoking everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so much fun once you get that smoke going. You got hours, and you got to have your friends come over, and you got to sip a beer while it's going on.
I understand.
All that stuff.
I hear some interesting things that you smoke. I hear you smoke cereal.
I smoke cereal, smoke chocolate cake, smoke everything.
Let's go back to this. So how do you smoke cereal, and what is the purpose of smoking cereal?
Take your bowl of cereal, you set it out on the smoker, you let it sit for 15, 20 minutes, depending on what kind of cereal it is, and then you take it inside, you eat it.
Sounds like you're smoking something else before you smoke the cereal. Now, you recently had a big reunion in Austin.
Yeah.
20-year anniversary of Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Who all showed up?
A lot of people showed up. There was Connie, and there were a bunch of people that showed up. A majority of the people showed up. The problem was the people who didn't show up, because we really did have a good time. I didn't know what to expect from it, but it was really nice, everyone getting back together and sharing stories. And it was really nice because when we did that show, the community, the town of Austin would come out and fill the stands when we were out there
Yeah, I can imagine.
working. So they have ownership in it too. So, you know, I can still go downtown and people say, hey, you know, how we met and everything, and have conversations. And it was just wonderful. It was, I was real proud to be part of it. I didn't know what to expect, and it was great.
Well, speaking of being proud, you are on the cover of Men's Journal.
Yes, sir.
Right? Right? Kyle Chandler on the art of staying loose.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me how a 60-year-old man stays loose?
Good vodka.
Good vodka. There you are. Look at you, man. In this, it talks about how you meet strangers and take motorcycle rides. Let's get into that. How do you take a motorcycle ride across the country with a stranger?
Well, one of the arts of staying loose is playing it by the fly.
Yeah.
Taking chances. Anyway, I was getting rid of my daughter's car. She was giving it to a friend of hers, and I took it in to change the oil, and I met this fella that came in, and he was, we started up a conversation. He told me that his son come of age, and when his son's come of age, they get to choose what kind of trip they go on, and he wanted to go on a trip from Canada down to Indian Wells, New Mexico, and along the Continental Divide on motorcycles.
Okay.
And he saw my excitement, and he goes, do you want to go? I said, yeah, I want to go.
Yeah.
And about 2 months later, we started our trip. It was like 14 days down and camping and doing this and that. And I love motorcycles. And usually I'm on the road, but at this point it's a little dirt bike, and we camped along the way. And it was just, you know, it's just great adventure.
Was there any interaction between you and this stranger and his son before you guys took this trip? I mean, what was it? Did you have Zoom calls? Did you meet up for lunch?
No, we met and we spoke, but there was a lot of planning that went into
Okay.
it. We actually, there were 5 of us all together.
Oh, okay.
So, and then, I mean, the adventure of it all is the trouble you get into along the way. Bikes breaking down, different temperatures, snow, mud, terrain that you can't get over, you know.
Right.
Helping each other pick the bikes up when they're down, because that happens quite often. It was just the greatest adventure ever that came out of a random meeting with a fella at a grease monkey.
Yeah, and what does your wife have to say about things like that? Does she say you a fool for going on this trip with a stranger, or I'm coming along with you, or how does that work?
No, to be honest, she'd go, you'd be a fool not to go on this trip.
Okay.
I'm married
That's
very
a good
well.
wife.
Yeah, married very well.
That's a good wife.
Yeah. No, my wife, there's my wife right there. She's adventurous in her own right. Like,
Okay.
she's
How so?
well, here's how crazy my wife is, the one sitting next to your beautiful mother. And my crazy wife is about to do a 2-week full-on, what do you call it, honey?
I'll do this part.
Okay. She talks better than I do.
It's a primitive survivor course up in Utah, and you start off with like a blanket and a knife, and like 2 days later you get a little food. We're with people you don't know, and they just give you skills: how to make fire, how to do this, how to do that, how to fix yourself if you hurt yourself. And then it's pretty cool because the last 2 nights you're on a solo. And they just stick you somewhere. But these guys are so well trained, like one doesn't even wear shoes. I mean, they're like, they're feral people I'm with, which is cool. I love that. But they bring in things slowly. You know, like they bring in an old happy goat that's had a really long life, and you're really hungry. And you have to kill it and strip it down and cook it, and you cook everything.
Okay.
Like, I mean, everything. And you eat it.
As my mother would say, that's white people.
Killing a goat, skinning a goat, hell no. And eating
Ladies and gentlemen,
And
more with Kyle Chandler after this.
How about a beer?
God, yes.
Oh, here.
Welcome back. We're here with Kyle Chandler. Now That was the power ring we just saw.
A power ring, yes, sir.
And you're using it for good.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Opening a beer bottle.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yep.
Now, just between you and I, nobody knows. If you had a power ring for real,
Yeah.
what would you do with it?
I mean, someone asked me that question today, and I realized real quick what it was. And that'd be the first thing when I woke up in the mornings. I would get my wife her cup of coffee that I have to make her every single morning of our marriage, and I'd just make it right there and hand it to her and go back to sleep.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'd do.
All right, all right.
30 years I have to get a cup of coffee for that woman every single day.
Mama, if you had a power ring, what would you do?
Make money, honey.
All right, that's a better answer. That's a better answer.
You played Green Lantern. If you could have been any superhero growing up as a kid, who would you have chosen to be?
Good God. I played Batman quite a bit as a kid. Because all you had to have is a utility belt,
Yeah.
a towel on your back.
Yeah.
If I was a superhero, I remember reading a lot of Sergeant Rock. I remember
Okay.
a Sergeant Rock when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I used to play Army in the Woods quite a bit. So Sergeant Rock was big in my world. But Green Lantern's a really cool character. And, he's very human, and he's just got the ring that gives him these powers, but inside he's purely human. So he has to overcome supernatural things with his ring, but yet he's just a human with a tool. So he's a pretty cool character. He's a pretty cool character. He's got a very deep and dark pathology to him. So he's been a lot of fun to play with. And you had Aaron on the show the other day, and Aaron's been great. He and I had so much fun doing this show together.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of this show. And I'll tell you a quick story. When we were shooting the show, Karen Wacker, one of the producers, who I worked with on Friday Night Lights as well, wonderful person. I went to her and I said, it'd be really nice if we could watch as a crew and a cast, all of us together, some of what we've already done to give us an idea of what we're doing. Because, there's special effects and there's this and that. Anyway, so she said, well, I'll think about it and whatever. And I don't know how long it was, a few weeks later or what have you. Everyone got together and we all went over at Warner Brothers into a stage, and they had 3 big monitors up there, and there were probably 200 of us, and we climbed in. They shut that big door behind us. And they showed us like 15 minutes of the show, little clips of everyone's work in the room. And when the lights came back on and there was silence and then applause, you saw a lot of tears. And it wasn't tears of anything other than, wow, look what we've done, and all the hard work people put into it, and how happy they were to see something, the product, and it just moved everyone to go further. It was one of the greatest projects I've ever worked on. Great people, talented people. Good people.
Now,
Yeah.
being a superhero,
Yes. Yeah.
comes with a costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get to wear the costume in this film? And let's talk about the costume that you had to wear.
Yeah. So they weren't sure whether there was going to be a suit, as I understand it, and then towards the end they decided let's have a suit. And then they had to design a suit. They came up with 3 different designs. And then Chris Munday and James Hawes chose the one suit that we went with. And it was, from there, I went with the designer, Summers, and we went, and I was the mannequin while they applied and created this whole thing in front of me. So I got to watch these artisans do what they do and listen to their vocabulary and how to describe what they wanted, which was, some of it was quite Greek, because they're visualizing what they want. Long story short, it's an incredible suit. They built something that was just incredible. It took a while. It was in pieces. It took about 45 minutes to get it on, the bottom part, 25 minutes each or what have you. And it's just an incredible looking, beautiful, green, worn in, almost like you can see the battle scars on it. I love it.
Yeah.
And the first day we wore it, it was great. And then, there was a mission, Freedom 7, back in '61 that Alan Shepard, they sent him around the earth, right?
Okay.
It took 15 minutes, no big deal.
Yeah.
But he had to sit on the launch pad a long time. There's one thing that NASA, with all their money and all their brilliance, forgot. Because he said, I have to go to the bathroom. No one thought about how he was going to go to the bathroom. And I had no way to go to the bathroom. There were no zippers, so I was in the suit the first day, and I was like, I have to go. Well, we're ready to shoot.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to take a half hour to get you in and out of it. And that was the one mistake they made with this suit.
Really?
The same thing NASA did in '61. There was no way to go to the bathroom. Just overlooked it.
All right, well, we'll never overlook your bathroom break. I want to thank Kyle. Lanterns premieres Sunday on HBO and HBO Max. We'll be right back with Hannah Einbinder.